So welcome everyone who's coming in. This is Maria Johnson. I am the conference chair for the year with my trusty co-chair, mental support sidekick, Jessica Loomer, who's not sure if she's going to make it tonight. But this is our special Zoom event, which is going to go over a lot of information and things with what to expect at this year's conference. So I'm really glad that you guys have decided to join us tonight. And if you're on the fence about coming tonight and you just popped in to see what all the fodder's about and all the banter and all the things that, you know, I've been posting on social media, then I'm glad you're here too, because maybe this will help make that decision to actually join us this year in Charlotte, North Carolina. So I'm really, really glad you guys were able to make it tonight. And we're really happy to be able to present this Zoom event, which we have not done in the past, but I think it's going to become a thing for conferences going forward, because there's a lot of information here. And I think that having this information pre-conference is going to allow you to come to conference and feel really, really confident that you have a really good grip on what to expect at the conference. So again, welcome. This is a special Zoom event for the 2023 LHON conference. This is Maria Johnson, and I'm really, really glad you're all here. So let me know who's here. Chime in.
I'm here.
And who's that?
John Challenge from Atlanta, Georgia.
Hi, John. Yes. How are you? You're coming with some family.
Yes, I am.
Wonderful.
Looking forward to it.
Good. Looking forward to meeting you.
John
And
Walters
everyone
here
else,
from Huntsville.
Lisa
We
and
are
everybody
both
else.
coming to the conference.
Yes. So we have Sarah Nappy and Sarah, who are you coming with?
My mother, her name is Jill Nichols.
Yay for moms. And I heard John Walters from Huntsville, Alabama. I heard John. Hello, John.
Hey, and Lori's coming too. So
Yay.
we're going to register. I promise. We've been busy.
I know I've been bugging you.
Hi, Maria. Jeff here from Virginia.
Jeff Bulliger, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
Good. Looking forward to seeing you again.
I'm coming with my wife, Renee.
Wonderful.
Wayne Daniels from DeLand, Florida, and coming with Susie, of course.
Yeah, Wayne and Susie. Nice.
Hi, this is Richard Archuleta
he's
from
really
Colorado. I'm coming.
Hi, Richard. Yes, from Denver, I believe, right?
Correct.
Cool. Yes. Oh, really excited to meet you. Wonderful. And you're coming with your wife?
Definitely. Yes, definitely excited.
Oh, good. First time, right?
Yes. Although I've had Weaver since about 32 years.
Well, you'll be meeting some folks that are in that category as well. And we're excited to have you at the conference. You're going to, I'm biased, of course, but you're in for a treat. You're in for a treat.
Yeah, you certainly are.
I definitely look forward to it.
Looking forward to meeting you.
That was Wayne, and Wayne has had it for how many years, Wayne?
44 this year.
There we go. So, yeah. All right. So again, if you're just popping on, this is Maria Johnson, and I am the 2023 conference chair, and I am welcoming you to the special Zoom event, which is going to give you lots of information and what to expect at this year's conference in Charlotte, North Carolina. And if you're already registered, awesome. If you haven't registered yet but planning to come, get on it, because we want to see your name on that list. If you haven't made hotel reservations, you're going to really want to get on that. That's really, really important to get on hotel reservations. And if you're on the fence about coming tonight and you're joining us, we hope that maybe just sitting here and listening and maybe asking a few questions if you want at the end, we might just push you over to, signing up and joining us this year. So we are going to get started here in a few minutes because we do have a few things to go through. And I don't know, Lisa, I can't tell how many people are on or what time it is, I guess.
It's about 5 after, and we've got about 30 folks on. So you can, people are still rolling in, but it's a reasonable time to get started, and I'll just keep admitting.
Yes. Okay. 30 people. That's awesome. People are listening to me. I love it.
You have an outstanding group, Maria.
Oh, yes. As always,
We wouldn't miss it.
and that's Jessica Knight. Yes, Jessica Knight. I hear you. So we're going to go ahead and get started. And I love everyone who's been chiming in, and we certainly can do that at the end. We will have time for questions or comments on anything that we go over. And at that time, I'd love to hear who has been on the call and where you're coming from. And we do have people coming from all over the US this year. We have some folks from Canada, and it really is a global event. So every family that has a connection to LHON is welcome, this year and every year. So as I said, you've heard me going on while people are popping in. My name is Maria Johnson, and I have been participating in the conference since 2014, where I ran the first Living with LHON panel and spoke about my journey. I've been affected for 9 years, and I was affected at the age of 50. And this conference has been an absolute passion of mine, and I just believe in it so much. And Lissa Pointsino started it the year before, in 2013, and it's just grown to be such an incredible event full of knowledge and panels and stories, but better yet, the time to meet and network with others who have been diagnosed and brought into this world as families. Because it's not just, the affected folks that we focus on in some of our sessions, but it's really for all the sighted supporters, the families and friends that come with the affected family members. And we have sessions for everybody, and we will be touching on that as well. And it really is a family event. And like I said, everyone is welcome. Whoever wants to join us, we welcome. So I want to turn it over to Kara Strickmatter, who is the Director of Education, I think I got it right, at UMDF. And she is my key person on the East Coast for organizing this incredible event. And we have become good friends and very close contact through the years of putting this conference together. So I'm going to turn it over to her, and she's going to kick off our information for tonight.
Good evening, everyone. As Maria said, I'm Kara Strickmatter, and I'm the Director of Education, actually, and Support Services for the UMDF. And I have been working on Symposium for UMDF since the year 2000. Was one of the first meetings that I was very much engaged with. So when we hear terminology about Symposium, I just want to make that clear. It's like UMDF Symposium is kind of our overarching name of our meeting, our international meeting that we do every year. And but we've turned on the key term mitochondrial medicine as the event name every year, and it'll say mitochondrial medicine 2021, 2022, 2023. So that's been going on for quite some time. I believe we were even using that term in 2013 when LHON conference ended up joining us at our national meeting. And it's been such a joy to have the LHON community as part of our conference. I'm telling you what, you guys bring such energy, and it's always a pleasure working with Maria and Lissa and Jessica, putting this event together. They do all the heavy lifting for the LHON conference part. I'm just kind of coordinating things overall and bringing them into some of the combined sessions and all the other activities that kind of happen while we're there at the National Symposium. So I'm going to kind of start off with just a little general what we're going to review tonight. We're going to look at the lay of the hotel land. I'm going to kind of go through the maps, kind of telling you where everything is. We're going to do the day-by-day schedules at a glance, and Lissa's going to do that for us. The LHON program and session highlights, I believe Maria, and I'll chime in too if she needs me to, but I think she can pretty much go through those. She's got it more than memorized because she's been working so hard with it with Jessica. And then I'll talk about the Doctors In program, the teen sessions, exhibitors and supporters, and then I'll touch on some general information about meals and other housekeeping that to keep in mind before you come. And then we'll go over the UMDF Mitochondrial Medicine Symposium mobile app. because we are going green, and that is what we will be using for all the scheduling, speakers, etc. So I'm going to get started with the map. So this is the Sheraton floor plan. Our meeting space is all on one floor. It's the ground floor of the Sheraton. At the very bottom corner, it says 2 restaurant room elevators and lobby with it points down. That's where you would come in if you're staying at the hotel. You'll enter, and basically if you come from your sleeping room or the lobby and into our space in that Carolina Mecklenburg foyer, the registration desk for UMDF mitochondrial medicine will be right there. You won't be able to miss it. And what we're planning on doing this year, which is new, if you've been there before, is new, is we're going to have royal blue balloon stanchions that will be at key locations to help our LHON attendees find targeted locations, like the registration desk, the LHON meeting room, the dock is in. Maybe we'll even have one pointed to that direction as well to help guide you. The symphony ballroom, where all of the meals will be, we'll have the stanchions in there near any place we would like the LHON attendees to gather, like whether it's the meet and greet or a reception. So we'll have key locations, so it'll be easier for you to find things at the on the symposium floor. So we have the LHON. I'm going to actually move over because I did 2 different maps that kind of zooms in on the LHON meeting space. The LHON meetings room for the week for Friday and Saturday is Mecklenburg 2 and 3. I know Maria always says, how do you say that? We could always say just Mech 2 and 3. So your session rooms are in there, and right across from that foyer is the scientific medical sessions are in A and C, Carolina A and C, and we'll have other family sessions in D and E. The poster sessions for the scientific will be there from Wednesday, Thursday. So you may see them when you come into registration on that Thursday, since we're starting earlier on Thursday at 3 o'clock. You may see the poster sessions are going on. So that's basically what is happening in this section. When I talked about the dock is in later, the dock is in is at the top of the screen in the governor's ballroom. And again, very close walking distance. I know you might see these little stairs. That's not for us. If you have somebody saying, well, there's stairs on that map, that's not for us. We stay on one level. You will not have to go up and down steps for any of our meeting space. And then our meals will all be in the symphony ballroom, the lunch, the banquet, and then some of our family sessions will be in that symphony ballroom. Our kickoff on Thursday will also be in the symphony ballroom. So when you arrive after registrations, you'll want to follow those signs through Symphony Foyer where the exhibitors are, and then the ballroom will have our kickoff on Thursday. Any questions before I move off the maps? All right. The Clinical Research Pavilion, for those of you that might be reading that, that's a new program this year. And if you are an LHON Plus patient, we will be doing clinical studies in that pavilion. So more of that information will be emailed out to attendees. So if you're interested and you would qualify for that, or want to see if you would qualify for that as an LHON Plus, you'll have that opportunity. All right, Lisa, I'm going to bounce this over to you for the schedule at a glance.
Thanks, Kara. And just a quick mention to everyone, if you have any background noise and you haven't muted yourself yet, please go ahead and do that. We didn't mute everyone, and it's easier if you can do it yourself, I know, but thank you. And yeah, in terms of an overview, I just want to contextually repeat something that Kara said, which is the UMDF is, we in the LHON community think we're going to the LHON conference, but we're operating in a broader context, meaning we're going to an event where the UMDF is, and Kara is putting together kind of a 3-ring circus, and we're just one of the 3 rings. And one of them is a scientific clinical session where she's working with researchers and clinicians to put together 4 days of sessions on all the most important things going on in the world of mitochondrial disease writ large, not just LHON, but all of mitochondrial disease. So Wednesday through Saturday, these scientific clinical sessions are going on. And that's one of the beauties of what is going by having our meeting there with them, is we have the opportunity to engage with these people and learn a little bit about what they're doing while they're having their 4 days of meetings. Then Thursday, one of the other rings is sort of a family sessions for the broad mitochondrial community. So there are people who have other diseases caused by defects in different parts of the mitochondria, not an LH1 mutation. And so there's a whole series of sessions that they refer to as family sessions to distinguish from the scientific clinical sessions. And these family sessions are running starting Thursday evening and then through Friday, Saturday. And anyone who's attending because of LH1 is more than welcome to attend any of those sessions. So take a look, see what's happening. And if there's anything that you'd like to attend, you're more than welcome to. The overall event for families and LHON is kicking off Thursday at 3 o'clock. And so it's a combined Mito families, LH1 families kickoff event, followed by a meet and greet reception Thursday evening. So that's Thursday. And then on Friday, it starts with what's called patient/family sessions. And so the LH1 community will join with the broader Mito community for the opening session Friday. Then there'll be a break, and then we'll go into what are the LHON sessions. And Maria is going to go into that. There's a couple other programs Kara's going to talk about. Friday evening, there's what's called the Accelerator Big Pitch, which includes researchers pitching their ideas, seeking funding. And then there's an evening of energy banquet where everyone is all together, the scientists, the researchers, the broad Mito family group, and us. We're all together Friday evening for a banquet. And then Saturday, more sessions, both LHON and patient family, and more of the doctor is in and team that's going to be explained in a minute. And then everything wraps up around 4 o'clock on Saturday. Most of the doctors and the Mito families are kind of head off around then, but our community tends to stick around Saturday night and find each other somewhere, maybe at a bar, maybe at a restaurant, maybe somewhere. It's post-event, but there's a lot of fun to be had Saturday night too, and Maria can tell you more about that. There are schedules for all of these things. They're all printable. And so that's on this overview too. So if you want to go into more detail with Maria on the next slide.
Sure. I also wanted to point out that Friday morning, it's a combined also with the clinical and scientific community from that 8 to 10. So it's not just the patient family and LHON attendees, it's everybody. It's all together, one big happy family on a Friday morning.
Thank you.
All right. Maria, would you like to hit the Friday and Saturday sessions?
Okay, so I'm muted. Yeah, so tagging on to what Lisa said was she went over what's happening on Thursday. As we've been telling most folks, come in early on Thursday because we do kick off at 3 o'clock and stay Thursday, Friday, and Saturday night. As she also alliterated to, was we do tend to hang around after Saturday, so I'll get into that. So I'm going to start with Friday. I'm going to hit a couple highlights here for our Friday and Saturday sessions. So Friday morning, everyone will go to the UMDF welcome, as Kara and Lisa said. It's for all attendees, clinical and doctors will all be in there. And then at the break time, all the folks who are there for the LHON sessions will come over to the Mecklenburg room. Got it right. And we will all gather there. And that's the room we will be in for all day Friday and Saturday. So once you know where that room is, you're good. And you don't need to leave. You don't need to wander off to other rooms because LHON's all over. We stay in one room for a reason, to make it easy and simple. And we just hang out there for both days. Now, as Lisa also said, if you feel like you'd like to go to other sessions, we allow that. We don't say you just have to stick with LHON. Please feel free to come and go to maybe hit another session that the UMDF symposium is having, and then wander back over to the LHON. Send a family member over there while another family member stays in LHON. So again, it's do whatever works for you, but we do have our own track and our own room to make it very simple and easy for everyone to follow. So Friday morning after the welcome for all attendees and the rest of the presenters and things, we will have a break and come into our room where we will have our own LHON welcome with Jessica Loomer and myself. And then after our welcome session, we will have our first Living with LHON panel. And most of you who have been to conferences before, or if you have viewed videos from past conferences, this is a fan favorite session. And this is where we have people tell their LHON stories as panelists. And we have people that are not only affected, but we also like to have folks that are maybe partners or spouses of affected individuals. We have had siblings, we've had children of affected parents, we've had parents of affected children. It really is a place where we can bring different perspectives about living with the disease, and that hopefully someone in the audience will relate to and get a real feel for what others go through, but also what you may be going through, and that you're not alone in your journey with the disease as an attendee at the conference. Then we will head into LHON Science, which will be moderated by Lisa, and she will have, she has a variety of doctors and professionals who will be going over some of the latest science in LHON, different aspects of LHON. Then we have LHON Community Update, and that again is also moderated by Lisa, and in this session, we give updates on the community, whether it's international updates. It could be about the DCP that we have going, which is the data collection program, and all the way to leadership and regional calls and group calls that we do. Just an all-around update of the past year and anything that's new moving forward in the community. And that night is the banquet. So we have a reception and a banquet that evening. And then we roll into Saturday. And we start off early in the morning with coffee and conversation. And that session is basically to come in, grab a coffee, network, chat with others. But one thing we're doing this year is it's kind of a new thing. We haven't done this before, is that we are having tables set up with folks who you can talk with about different topics. We will have Melinda Marsh there, who will be set up to help folks understand and sign up for the DCP. We will have Robin Lanzi there, who will be talking about her work and her passion in working with people with disabilities for physical health and mental health. We have a low vision specialist, an OT, and a OT person, and a person that works with youth with the Metrolina Association of the Blind. So they'll have lots of resources there, and talking to and finding out more about what low vision specialists do, because that is someone that usually we see at some point after becoming affected. And we're working on getting some other exhibitors or other vendors there that could possibly bring equipment, products, devices for folks to try and check out that may not have an opportunity where they live to see the types of low vision aids that are really helpful to us. So we're still working on a little bit of that. one thing to kind of encourage you all to get down there for coffee and conversation is that we are going to be handing out raffle tickets, and we will be having a raffle for some really cool things. Probably doing the raffle right after our last session before lunch. So you definitely want to come down, get your coffee, get your raffle ticket, because it'll be worth your while later in the day. Okay. Then we have our assistive technology session. The top 5 questions I get asked about assistive technology, and that is going to be presented by our own Sarah Nappy, who runs the assistive technology calls that many of you have been on, and we're super excited to have her there, and you guys can meet her in person to present that session. And then we have our second Living with LHON panel. And again, I've already explained what this is about, but here's the one change, is that the moderator is somebody new. I've been doing this panel since 2014, and I have loved it, but taking on a lot more responsibility, which I love, in organizing the conference. Our own Jessica Knight is going to be moderating this panel on Saturday, and she is super excited about it. And I'm really excited for her to start to take over moderating these panels. We've all heard her on the Southeast calls, and she does an amazing job moderating. And I have no doubt she will make this a successful panel. Then we have a combined session where some of the folks from this UMDF side will probably come over to our room, and we have a positive mindset coach doing a session called Positive Mindset for Life, for everyday life through challenging times. This positive mindset coach actually works with people who have challenges with special needs and family members who have disabilities, things of that sort. So I think that'll be a really interesting session. And that's, again, something for everybody. Then we have our next panel, which is Navigating Employment with LHON. And on that panel, we will have folks who are, have careers, maybe multiple careers, or maybe been in one career their whole life since they've been affected, or maybe they were affected during their career, and what kind of changes and what kind of accommodations did they do to make their career more fitting after being affected with LHON. And that panel is going to be moderated by Jessica Loomer. And then we kind of round it off with our LHON closing, which will be myself and Jessica Loomer. And that'll round out the day, 2 full days of some amazing sessions. And that will end around 4 o'clock, give or take at this point. And then it becomes a free-for-all. And many of you who have gone to conference before know that after conference is a wonderful time to gather and keep the connections and the bonding going with new and old friends that we have made for the last 2 days. I mean, we do have those times during breakfast and during break time and during lunches to connect with folks, and even before and after the banquet. But after the conference is all said and done, and it's been an amazing couple of days, just saying, we usually gather and we're able to kind of decompress, talk a little bit about conference, but just get to know each other better. And it is a really wonderful time post-conference, and it just goes until it goes. I'm not giving any time limits here. We usually gather somewhere in the hotel. We find a place. We just enjoy each other's company, and exchange stories. And again, sighted supporters and affected and friends, family, everyone gathers because everyone has a story. Everyone's there for a reason. And it just is a really wonderful time. And we know that the conference is coming to a close at that point. So we do love to spend as much time together because we do just do this once a year. And you just don't get together with this many folks that have a life with LHON every day. As many of you know, it's very rare. So when we have this opportunity to get together at this conference, we like to go to the very last minute. So Saturday night should be really, really fun. And if you can stay, awesome. That's why a lot of folks get the Saturday night hotel room and then leave Sunday. But if you can't, obviously we understand. And, it doesn't make it any less valuable for the 2 days or the 3 days that you're there. But if you're able to, it's always a fun time. So that you will round out Saturday for those. So that's your full Friday and Saturday sessions.
Great. I love it. All right, let me see if I can move on. Okay, the Doctors In program. I'm going to kind of give a little bit about this. If you've been there before, you understand what it is, but the Doctors In program is something we created years, probably in the very beginning. I think it was 2002 might have been the first year we did it. It is basically a one-to-one opportunity to speak with a mito specialist. And we have about 12 clinicians who have signed up to be a part of this. They volunteer their time, and they have different sign-up slots that they're willing to do. And we have digital signups for this beginning on Thursday evening. So what this is basically, it's not to establish a doctor-patient relationship, but it's an opportunity for patients to talk to a mitochondrial specialist about their condition. We don't really have any neuro-ophthalmologists on the list this year, but we definitely have some doctors who are LHON plus, and those that can still probably answer a lot of questions about LHON. So if you're interested and you want to sign up, we usually have a little bit of a description and a bio link about those doctors, so you can actually research them a little bit more before you decide if you want to sign up. The digital signups on Thursday evening, we'll have staff that'll help you. It will be in the app after Thursday where you can actually sign up yourself. And if you have problems doing that, you can go to the DACA's In sign up at DACA's In room in Governors 3 and 4, and somebody will walk you through that and help you sign up if there's any open slots. So, they do tend to fill up sometimes the slots for the doctors, but sometimes there's some openings. So if you're interested, just definitely check it out. Teen sessions. Margaret Moore is our UMDF support associate, education and support associate, and she is on. I wasn't sure if she was going to join us this evening, but she is here, and she really helps me with all things patient family programming, but she does a lot with the teen sessions, and so I'm going to have her give a little bit of a rundown of the teen sessions.
Well, hello everyone, and I just want to make it really clear that any teen impacted by LH1 is absolutely invited to attend the teen session. So our teen sessions begin on Friday. We're going to start out with a little bit of a safety kind of 101 with our teens. They, we want to make sure that everyone's comfortable and, safe. I know that the pandemic is officially over, but people are still getting sick. So we want to make sure that all of our young people are as comfortable as they can be. So we'll be going over some basic things. We'll have masks available for them and just some wipes and those kinds of things to make sure that they know how we can keep ourselves as safe as possible in the teen room. Following that, we have Dr. Amy Goldstein from the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia will come in and do a roundtable discussion with the teens, no parents allowed. This is where our young people can ask any questions of a mitochondrial disease specialist that they might have, and they can do it in a safe place with their peers and Dr. Goldstein. Following that, and in preparation for our big dance on Friday night, we will have a ballroom dancer teach our kiddos and young people a few steps. Now, I don't think any of our teens have any experience in this, so it will be very basic, and there will be lots of descriptives to make sure that everybody knows what to do. But we're pretty excited about it. I think it'll be a really fun thing. Later in the day, in the afternoon, we will have a STEM activity. It actually is going to be a robotics activity. So they will learn how to program and make a robot go. I tried to get wild animals, but the hotel wasn't for it at all. So unfortunately, no wild animals this time. It was a hissing giant cockroach, and the hotel just couldn't wrap their head around that, I don't think. And then after that, to wrap up our Friday, we will have music therapists come in and do a music therapy session with our teens. Then in the evening, we have alongside of, and it's kind of different this year, but alongside our evening of energy banquet, we will have, right as it ends, the teen dance is going to start in that very room. We will have a photo booth that will be available to everyone, not just our teens. We typically have it for the teens and it's their own thing, but we're going to open that up to everyone this year. So make sure you visit the photo booth. We will have some royal blue markings in the photo booth area to make sure that you can find it. So we'll have our dance and banquet. We have a DJ, lots of fun. And then Friday, early morning, after that evening of dancing, we will get started with a healthy mind and body course with Jamie Peterson, who is a genetic counselor from the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia. Here's where our teens will talk about things that they can do to keep themselves as healthy as possible with their mitochondrial disease, including LHON. This is where they have the conversation potentially about, don't drink, don't do drugs, because teens have these questions and these do impact their mitochondrial health. So that session happens in the morning. We do that one every year. We also will be talking about just nutrition, and when you go off to college, you can't just eat Cheetos and that kind of thing. So it should be a really nice time for the young ones. We will also be doing a positive mindset course with our teens next. So there they will be talking about ways that they can change the way they're thinking so that they can get the most out of what they're doing. And, that's all we ever hope for our young ones. Following that, we're going to have, going to kind of cool things down and do some yoga with Christy. So we'll have adapted yoga. It will be for any ability level. And we're excited about that. And then we'll end the day with an art project, and there might actually be some songwriting in there. I'm still working on that, but so we have a very packed schedule for our teens, but again, this programming is something that's important to us. And I think that if you have a chance to visit at all with the teens, it just makes your day. They're so fun and energetic and happy, and it's just a nice part of our conference.
And I know we spoke earlier, Alyssa. So basically, for any teen, actually any adult, any of the sessions, you're more than welcome to come and go. So let's say they go to a session, even one of the adult sessions or a teen session, and your attendees go in there, it's like, this is not for me. You don't have to stay. You can move on and go back to the LHON conference or session, the program sessions. You don't have to feel bad about that. We've had to work with that many times with our patient family sessions because we do run sessions at the same time. There's multiple tracks, and some people feel like, oh, but I'm missing that. We do record them. Most of the sessions are recorded. So we always, try to take that pressure off that, you will be able to catch it at another time. Some people just have to make that decision on what they want to go to. Again, like Lisa or Maria said, split it up. Maybe your spouse or somebody else wants to go to that session and you go to another one. You can make those decisions. Sometimes they say we offer too much, but it's like we just feel like we have to have a lot of opportunities because not everybody has the same interests. So they're more than welcome to go in and out of sessions as they see fit. And then I just want to thank our exhibitors and our sponsors that make our meeting, making it available and an opportunity for us every year. I mean, without their support, we would not be able to do this symposium. And it's the UCB, Edith Cheese Charitable Trust, Akron Children's Hospital Philadelphia, Reneo Pharmaceuticals, Stealth Biotherapeutics, Astellas, PTC Therapeutics, Minovia, Solus Nutrition, Summit Health Pharmacy, Abliva, and then our Delta Gamma Foundation is coming back, and they're always a supporter. And I believe they may be exhibiting of some sort. Maria, is that correct? Oh, she's on mute.
Yes, actually, the low vision specialist that is from the Metrolina Association of the Blind is a Delta Gamma alumni. So there is connections there.
There's a connection there. Yeah. So it's great. They've been a great supporter of our meeting every year. So really appreciative of them. Gene DX, the Haggerty Family Foundation, NIH Metabolism, Infection and Immunity Programs supporting us again, Religion Inc., Sale Therapeutics, and Seattle Children's Hospital, and then Varianix. So great group of supporters and sponsors this year, and make sure you stop by and say thank you to them, because it really does mean a lot for this meeting. Then I want to talk a little bit about the continental breakfasts, breaks, and meals. Again, when we talked about marking target locations in the meal rooms, and I don't know if I really said this earlier, Liz, or not, but in the lunch and the banquet, we will have tables marked off for the LHON attendees, so that you'll go to the same location each time. So you won't have to, I got to find where our table is. We're going to go ahead and have a grouping of the LHON tables with stanchions so that you can easily find them. We will try to have volunteers posted, maybe we'll have one of those balloon stanchions at that location, so that we have that volunteer that can help guide you to your seats in that meal room. So that anyone who requested vegetarian or gluten-free will probably have a little insert in your registration materials, so look for that. You'll show that to the hotel staff. If you noted other dietary needs beyond vegetarian or gluten-free, please make sure you contact the hotel prior to the meeting to ensure they can accommodate your needs, because sometimes they need that heads up if you have very special needs. The continental breakfast, I always like to tell people this, because they're like, well, what are they going to have for breakfast? It's basically oatmeal, bread, pastries, yogurt, fruit, cereal. If you're looking for something a little bit more substantial, like eggs and bacon and omelets and that kind of stuff, you'll have to go to the hotel restaurant for that, because that's all we can do for this meeting. Again, please note that we'll have volunteers for sighted support at those meals and buffet tables. Some housekeeping. I always, if you've never been to our meetings, I don't know how it was in the LH room last year, but we always have a little trouble getting those meeting rooms adjusted for temperature regulation. They're always cold. So we always tell people dress in layers, because no matter how many times we ask the hotel, hey, they're freezing in there, they'll adjust it. Then sometimes they adjust it too much, and then we got people passing out because they're hot. So, it's a really delicate balance, and it's hard to get. So we always recommend dress in layers so that if you get cold, you've got something to throw on. And of course, we have wheelchair rows for many of our families need that in our meeting rooms. And then we're going green. Again, all information will be in that mobile app. If you prefer the hard copies, make sure you print those from the links that we provide ahead of time. And I would recommend waiting until that week before to print, even a couple of days, because things change. We have a speaker update, or something can, you never know what could happen between now and then. So I would wait till that week before. Getting to the hotel, this information that that's on the slide now, I'm going to read it, but it will also be on the UMDF website. And I think Lisa was going to put it on the LHON webpage too. It's kind of getting to the hotel. It has the Sheraton Charlotte Hotel Le Méridien. It's the complex. It has the address, the McDowell Street address. It has a link to pre-arrival hotel info. Just kind of, just takes you right to their hotel site on parking, what to expect at their hotel. The ground transportation link is also on this from the Charlotte Airport. I have this on here that you can click and learn a bit about the to and from the airport. Taxi versus Uber, Lyft prices. I looked, they're about the same, but Uber and Lyft, it's always going to depend on what time of day you arrive, because their prices fluctuate depending on when you get there. So I don't know how savvy you are with apps, but if you do use Uber, you can always schedule that ahead of time, and then your ride is ready for you when you get there. Parking, if you are driving, we do have with our meeting contract a discounted rate, $15 overnight and $10 daily. And that'll be connected to your guest room key. It's integrated with the parking lot deck. So you should be able to use your room key, and that you'll get that rate. For those guests not staying at the Sheraton, or you're driving in from home, just come to the UMDF registration desk, and we'll probably have some kind of validation sticker to give you to make sure you get that discounted rate. I want to point out that the room block of the Sheraton side of the complex is full, and we have added rooms on the Le Méridien side. So the link is the same on our UMDF website at umdf.org/symposium. So the reservation link will reserve a room with the Le Méridien, even though they're the same. it's a complex, but they've changed and updated, the hotel has changed and updated that link so that it does now help you with the reservations for the One Meridian. It's still the same group rate. But I want to really stress that the group rate will end on June 2nd. So please reserve your hotel rooms if you have not. If you've had some difficulty with that, I'm okay with you emailing me at symposium@umdf.org and let me try to work through that with the hotel. It's always, we go through this every year. You get a room block and you get to this time where we're running out of rooms. So it's then push and trying to see what we can get, but the hotel's full, so they couldn't give us any more. So if you have questions with that, again, symposium@umdf.org, just let me know. Now we're gonna go into the mobile app. Dun, dun, dun. The Mitochondrial Medicine Symposium mobile app. If you were there last year and you did use the app, you don't have to re-download it. It should already be on your phone. You simply log in, but you're going to click at the very top left-hand corner of the mobile app. There's a little, looks like a little door. I don't know if it's a door, but you're going to click that to exit. And then it'll allow you to select UMDF Mitochondrial Medicine 2023 event, because it's all under that same branded app. You're just choosing this year's event. So once you do that, that's for those of you that have the app already. If you do not have the app already, you've probably received instructions, and I told Lissa and Maria, I said the best thing you need to do is in your mobile phone, in your web browser on your phone, type in www.umdf.org/app app, and that'll take you to that screen. Matter of fact, I'll just, if it takes me to there, then it takes you to the screen that has a picture of the phone, and it has the UMDF Mitochondrial Medicine 2023, and then it has a little icon for download on the App Store or get it on Google Play. So you can click on either one of those on your phone, and it should take you right to the app to download. So that's probably the easiest way. If you're on your computer and you're doing like I'm doing right now, it does have a little scan or QR code. You could pop that up, hold your phone up there, take a picture of it. If you're savvy about that stuff, some people are not, but you could do that as well. All right. I'm going to actually go into the app and just kind of talk through a couple of things that we discussed earlier. That everything is in the app, that I believe you can filter by LHON. Like, so if you don't want to see all of the program on the features that has all schedules, you can click on that, but you can filter. There's a little filter in the top right corner of the phone app as well as the computer screen. If you click on that, you can clear and just select LHON, hit apply, and then you'll only see the LHON sessions. And they will be, there's a little black and a little blue. The blue is the family patient session tracks, and the LHON black button is the LHON sessions that Maria went over earlier. So that's an easy way then to have your schedule just the LHON, but you can clear that filter off at any time and see everything. Just remember, when you can't find something, say, wait a minute, I know there's scientific sessions going on, but I can't see them now, or my, it's not reading. You're going to clear that filter. When you want to connect with people, I'm going to explain how attendees are. So when you go on your features and you scroll down, you see all the little bodies and the words attendees come up. You hear the word on your readers, attendees. When you click on that, all the attendees that are active and that are registered for the meeting will be in here. And they all have like little, like the green is scientific clinical. That's what the green dot means. The blue, as I said earlier, is the patient family attendees. If there is a blue and black, that means that's LHON patient family. I typically have everyone grouped from the LHON as attendee. You're included both in the patient family and the LHON, because you're all part of us. We're all one big happy family when it comes to patient family community in mitochondrial medicine. So you'll see black and blue for all the LHON attendees. Orange is UMDF staff. So feel free to connect with any of us. That's lovely if you do. You'll see on the right-hand side of that, or next to that person attendee, it'll have an add button. If you click add, it will basically send a notification to that person that you're trying to add them. That you want to connect with them. And don't get discouraged if somebody doesn't respond or they don't connect with you. It could be they're not in the app, or they're not being active in the app, which is very possible, or they're just not comfortable. You know, they just, no, I'd rather talk in person. I don't want to do any kind of connecting through the app. We like to encourage people to, because there's some really cool things once you're connected. So once you've made that connection, there's another little button that says connections. And you click on the connections. And I have a list of people that I'm connected to that have already reached out to me. Some of these are from previous years. So if you see somebody say, I don't think this person's here, you'll see where they were. At the bottom of the thing, it'll say United Mitochondrial Medicine 2022. That means they were an attendee in 2022. So it doesn't necessarily mean if they connected with you last year, doesn't necessarily mean they're there this year. So you can always remove them. I kind of did that. I cleaned out people that weren't here this year, and that's up to you as that's your list. You can take those people out of your connections if they're not there. But if you do have somebody you want to connect with, there's all kinds of things you can do. You can message them. You can even set up a video chat with them, or you can set up a meetup time. Let's say you met somebody at lunch and you see they're active on the app and it's like, oh, I don't know where to find them. You could actually go ahead and click that and set up a meeting time with them. Not saying they'll do it, you know, we don't know, but hey, I think more people that are active in there, you might see that's going to be a really great way of connecting with folks. Is there something else you guys would like to see or have me show?
Kara, does that one next to the bell up top mean that you've been notified that somebody's trying to connect with you?
Yes. Yes. If you have a little on your connections. Yeah. See this little,
I just tried to add you and I'm wondering if that's.
Yep. There you are. So let's
try. If you click that.
So then I just say, yes. And now I'm connected with you. So what happened is on the bell, there was a little red dot and there was a number. I clicked on that and it was Lissa trying to connect with me. And there's a little checkbox, so a little check mark. So you just click on the check mark to connect. And then that way you're connected with that person. You will also get notifications too, like if there's a meeting room change, or so make sure when you are working around in the app and learning, you know, before the meeting, make sure your notifications are turned on. And I believe that's something you have to do in your mobile device to allow notifications. Okay. But there's all kinds of, there's the maps are in here. You can click on the maps that we showed earlier. They're in the app. You click on maps and it has the ballroom map, and it has the ones that are a little more up close, the Caroline Mecklenburg Foyer map, which is the one that your LHON sessions would be in. There's the printable schedules. You can click on the printable schedules at any time in the mobile app, and they have those listed, and you click on them and there you go. It's there in a PDF. Let's see, exhibitors. There's the exhibitor information. You can always peruse and see who's there. I read them off earlier, but anytime you want to see what exhibitors are in the exhibit foyer area, you can click on those and see who's there. Any questions? Any questions about the mobile app?
This is Maria. I do want to mention that Sarah Nappy will be one of our app experts, if you will. She has been playing with the app and knows how to use it, not only visually zooming in, but also with voiceover. So she is someone that, you'll be able to connect with maybe on Thursday if you're having trouble with the app. But we plan to have a few folks that will get really proficient with the app. So if you're struggling with it, we can hook you up with somebody, and I'm sure UMDF folks too. But we also want to make sure that you understand how to use it with your phone, with the accessibility features as well. And again, she showed you when she clicked on the printable agenda. So many people last year asked me, don't you just have something you can hand me, paper? And we did not at the time, but this year we decided to give that option. So please know, as Kara said, wait till the last second, print out that agenda and stick it in your purse or bag, and you can always refer to that or pull it up on an iPad while you're in the meeting room, if that's easier for you to read. So we have lots of options to find out what's going on. So don't feel that you're stuck not knowing. You do have the options. So everyone can print it out or view it the way they feel most comfortable.
Right. And I did want to point out too, the mobile app workshop, so we'll do the kickoff on Thursday, 3, whether it goes to 4:30, we don't even know if we'll go that long on that kickoff, but regardless, after 4:30, we'll have volunteers in that room. We don't know where we're going to have the LHON meet and greet yet. We're trying to work through our numbers of attendees and where we're going to all fit. We may have to move some of your meet and greet over to the LHON meeting space. We're just not sure at this time where we're going to have that location, but we will definitely have that ready when you get there on Thursday. But we will have people there after that 4:30 to kind of be that person, like Sarah or Paul, or even some other volunteers. Yeah. We may have some Delta Gamma volunteers who would be there, to just kind of,
okay, Google, set timer for 20 minutes.
All right. Okay. I wanted to point out real quick too, the difference between speakers and attendees. I know Lisa brought this up earlier and she says, how do I connect? I want to add them as a connection. Speakers, you don't add as a connection. That's just information about the speaker. It's not a way to connect with them. That would be done through the attendees. And so if the speaker under the attendees is not active, or registered, they're supposed to register and I'm pushing them and trying to get them into the app and be active, but they may not show up where you can add them. And that the reason being is they're either not active in there yet, or they've chosen not to be active. So I just want to make that different. There's a difference in that, but you can connect with anybody, any of the scientific, patient, family. Again, just depends on whether they accept that connection, but you can do it. All right, any other questions? It's quiet, Maria.
I keep muting myself. Yeah, this is pretty much the conclusion of all of the information that we wanted to throw your way. We know it's a lot, but I really hope that you have a really good idea about what to expect at the conference, and do, download that app. And if you have any issues at all, again, contact symposium@umdf.org. They can help you with that, and get to know it before, the day before the conference. Try to get to know it well in advance. And again, the advice of printing out the schedule, if you'd like, wait till you're, it's a little closer to conference time, because we are going to be filling in a lot more details with speakers and panelists information. So it is now your time. If you have any questions at all, or comments, or just anything you want to know about the conference, or anything we've gone over, this is now your time to ask those questions. So please feel free to unmute, and we will try to answer anything that we can for you.
What is the COVID protection for the conference that you guys have in place?
Basically, the protocol this year, masks are not required. We will have hand sanitizers throughout. We will have masks available, like especially for the teen sessions. If you want to be masked, please go ahead, bring your mask. Don't feel uncomfortable doing that. A lot of people still do, but we are not making it a requirement this year.
Hi, it's Megan. This might be a question for Lissa, but I don't know if there's any lineup for any of the doctor sessions or any of the scientific sessions.
Hi, Megan. Yeah, I can tell you that Dr. Mark Tarnopolsky from Canada is going to be one of the scientific speakers, and he's been working with LHON patients for many, many years now, and he also works on the LHON plus side, and he's also going to be doing a good number of the doc is in sessions. So that's one person to keep an eye on. And then one of the other scientific speakers is going to be an ophthalmologist at Duke. Her name is Mais Diary, and she has special experience in pediatric ophthalmology, which is interesting because there's been a paper published recently on differences in onset for LHON in children under 10. So she's going to have some unique perspective on both that paper and children, but also she's seen quite a number of LHON patients over the years. So she'll be another one of our scientific speakers. Yeah, that I think those were the people I wanted to mention. I also wanted to point out that in the teen sessions, for those who have teens coming, Amy Goldstein, who's going to be speaking with the teens, she's seen quite a few LHON patients. She's very much a mito doc, but many LHON and LH1 plus patients have seen her. And Jamie Peterson, who's going to be doing that session on healthy mind and body, who's a genetic counselor at CHOP. You might, for those who were at conference last year, you might remember him, or if you watched the video, he was one of the genetic counselor speakers that we had last year. Really very good way of presenting complex information in an easy to understand manner. So I think the teens will really like him. Wanted to point that out too.
I forgot he did that last year.
Yeah.
Hi, this is Richard. I have a question when you're ready.
Yeah, go for it.
What is the dress code, or what is the typical dress people wear?
This is Maria. I'll address that. Whatever you're comfortable in. We don't suggest pajama bottoms or torn t-shirts or anything, but just nice casual, really. But make sure you're comfortable. And as Kara said, bring an extra sweatshirt or sweat jacket, sweater, because the room can get chilly, and you don't want to be uncomfortable that way. But again, just whatever you're comfortable in, and that's really the only requirement. Obviously, like I said, not pajama bottoms, shorts, and wife beaters, but something.
So I wasn't too sure if I needed to bring my suit jacket and tie. So
not at all.
And actually, even the evening of energy banquet, it's all over the place. I mean, we have some people that wear a dress a little bit nicer, but then most of it's pretty casual.
Yeah, so, we have people that wear shorts and Hawaiian shirts, because that's what they're comfortable in, and tennis shoes. We have people in khakis and nice dress shirts. And then the Energy for Life, as Kara said, we do have people that wear suits, jackets, and maybe a nice button down, and tie optional, or just a nice set pair of khakis, or even a nice denim with a button-down shirt, or like a camp shirt, like a one that doesn't tuck in. It is all over the place. We've also seen women in really beautiful dresses, or pantsuits, jumpers, that kind of a thing. So it's really just whatever your style is and whatever you're comfortable in, but suitable for a conference.